Let's imagine a world divided in two, where the clouds of nuclear war hang low, and every new aircraft in the sky could mean the difference between peace and annihilation. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a deadly game of technology and power. And at the center of this silent standoff stood two legendary bombers, the American B-1 Lancer and the Soviet Tu-22M Backfire. But what made these massive machines so important? And why were they built to terrify each other without ever meeting in combat?
It all began in the 1960s and 70s, a time when the idea of mutually assured destruction defined global politics. The United States already had the B-52 Stratofortress, a long-range nuclear bomber that had dominated the skies for decades. But Soviet radar and missile systems were becoming deadlier each year. America needed a bomber that could fly faster, lower, and farther, capable of slipping through enemy defenses and striking before radar could even see it. That's how the B-1 program was born. Meanwhile, across the Iron Curtain, the Soviet Union faced the same challenge. They needed a bomber that could reach deep into NATO territory, strike American aircraft carriers, and escape before being intercepted. The result was the Tupolev Tu-22M, codenamed Backfire. Both aircraft were designed with one purpose: to ensure their nations could deliver destruction anywhere on Earth.
They sound terrifyingly similar, both designed for speed, range, and nuclear delivery. But how exactly did these bombers differ in design and philosophy?
That's where things get fascinating. The Tupolev Tu-22M Backfire was the evolution of an earlier Soviet design, the Tu-22 Blinder, which had major flaws in handling and range. The new model featured variable sweep wings, meaning the pilot could change the shape of the wings mid-flight. Swept back for supersonic speed, extended for stability at low speed. This gave the Backfire the ability to fly fast, low, and deadly. It could carry Kh-22 missiles, enormous supersonic weapons capable of sinking aircraft carriers or striking ground targets with devastating precision. The B-1 Lancer, on the other hand, was designed as America's answer to the Backfire, but with far more advanced stealth and avionics. It also used variable sweep wings, but its design emphasized low radar visibility, high subsonic endurance, and electronic countermeasures that made it almost invisible to radar. Its role evolved from nuclear deterrence to precision conventional strikes, especially after the end of the Cold War. While the Tu-22M was like a hammer, fast, loud, and devastating, the B-1 was a scalpel, built to strike deep with precision and stealth.
So they were built for similar missions, but in very different ways. Did either of them ever actually face each other in battle?
Not directly, and that's the irony. Neither the B-1 nor the Tu-22M ever clashed in combat against one another. Their true battlefield was psychological. Each flight test, each satellite image, each military parade became part of the Cold War chess game. The Soviet Union used the Backfire to project power, especially over the Arctic and North Atlantic, where NATO forces constantly tracked their movements. The United States responded by deploying the B-1 Lancer, but political delays and cost overruns meant it entered service much later, in the 1980s. By then, the arms race had already shifted towards stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit. Still, both aircraft became potent symbols of what the Cold War was really about: deterrence through fear.
It's amazing to think that so much money, technology, and intelligence were poured into machines that were never meant to actually fight, only to threaten. But what happened to these bombers after the Cold War ended?
Their destinies couldn't have been more different. When the Soviet Union collapsed, the Tu-22Ms were inherited by Russia and Ukraine. Many were scrapped under arms reduction treaties, but some remain active in Russia's Air Force, modernized as Tu-22M-3M, equipped with new avionics and long-range cruise missiles. They've seen combat roles in modern conflicts, like in Syria where they were used for long-range bombing missions. The B-1 Lancer, on the other hand, was transformed from a nuclear carrier into a conventional precision bomber. It saw extensive use in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kosovo, proving its flexibility in modern warfare. Its ability to fly long distances, carry heavy payloads, and deliver pinpoint strikes earned it a new title, the bone, short for B-1.
That's incredible. From nuclear deterrence to modern precision warfare. But if we were to compare them today, which bomber would actually win in a head-to-head contest?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? On paper, the B-1 Lancer has superior avionics, radar evasion, and payload capacity. It can carry over 34 tons of weapons, almost twice that of the Tu-22M. However, the Backfire still holds an edge in subsonic dash speed. It can exceed Mach 1.8, while the B-1 is limited to around Mach 1.2. The Tu-22M's powerful Kh-32 anti-ship missiles also make it extremely dangerous in naval warfare, giving it a strategic niche that the B-1 doesn't quite match. But in terms of flexibility, endurance, and multi-role capability, the B-1 remains one of the most advanced bombers ever built. So, the real answer is, it depends on the battlefield.
So in the end, these two bombers, born from fear and rivalry, became legends not because of what they destroyed, but because of what they prevented.
Exactly. The Tu-22M and the B-1 Lancer represent more than just machines. They are the embodiment of human ambition, paranoia, and the relentless pursuit of dominance. They were built not to start wars, but to stop them, by making the cost of conflict unthinkable. And even today, as new generations of bombers like the B-21 Raider emerge, their legacy still echoes across the skies. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful weapons are the ones that never have to be used.
From the frozen runways of Russia to the deserts of Nevada, the shadows of these bombers still linger. Maybe that's the true lesson of the Cold War. Power isn't just about strength, it's about restraint.
Well said. And perhaps that's why these machines, the Tu-22M, Backfire, and the B-1 Lancer, will forever remain symbols of the balance that kept the world from burning.